stuff. We had some Stonehaven, a little Penzance, the Margate, Tilbury. There was just a Pembroke, a nice smattering of things. And we had a little bit of each, and it broke our website. It busted us.
Man, that is crazy. That is crazy.
It's just so funny. When people, I think our webmaster, who is Pylorns, actually, James Foster.
Shout out to Pylorns.
A good friend of the show. And he was like, this is an honor. Like, I was frustrated beside myself saying things I'm not proud of. And Pylorns, of course, is like, this is awesome. Like the people love you so much, and they were so after this tobacco that they broke you, and that was great. We were thrilled about that. But after we got it sorted out, anyway, if you did get on that, man, thank you for ordering your Esoterica tobaccos from us. And if you didn't, hopefully next time. We don't have any kind of waiting list or anything for that. That's a policy of ours. So even for our local, customers, they have to purchase it through our website. Once it goes out, I just, send out a little tweet or an Instagram about it, and first come, first serve. So
you and Kim Kardashian breaking the internet, man.
Just breaking the internet.
You need to get a photoshopped photo of your head over Kim Kardashian that you can put up next time that like people shut down your website. You know what I mean? I think that'd be great. Just you and little tobacco flying over your head and everything. And
what about a picture of you doing that?
No. See, this is about the shop. This ain't about me. This ain't about me.
Maybe we can work on that. I don't know.
Maybe. Real quick, and Mike, we'll have to cut this out of the podcast. Guys, thanks so much. Those of you who are tuning in live, we had an issue with the mics that has now been fixed.
Is it better?
It's better. Fortunately, it's not a problem for the podcast, but it is a problem for the live show.
Right.
Y'all should be all set at this point. And now we cut back into the show now.
Yay.
Hey, man, so we, of course, broadcasting live on Monday nights, as we love to do. And, I want to encourage those of you who are tuning in at countrysquireradio.com for the live show. Let us know. Keep up with us. We love getting those thoughts and feedback throughout the entire night. Y'all are being very lively over on Twitter. At Squire Radio is the Twitter handle. I know a lot of folks have been commenting on the YouTube channel, which we always kind of look at the YouTube comments after the show. But for those that are watching live, if you want to get kind of live comments in, Twitter is kind of the main thing that we watch. So we'd love to have you join the conversation, as many of you guys are.
I'm so thankful for you. I have no idea what anything you just said, except I heard the word Twitter and that they can interact with us that way. And
so this is why we have to have one channel. You know what I mean? Like you got some shows, they got like 30 gazillion different screens up, and they're monitoring Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and Snap this and yada yada yada. But no, we got one channel.
We got one channel. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You're looking at the producer right here.
That's right.
Or at least the live producer.
One screen. Maybe one at some point we'll outsource me. If we get a second me, if I can pull a Dr. Manhattan, then I can be over there.
I think the world can handle two of you both.
I
don't know. Hold on. Let me take this back. I don't think I can handle two. Let's just make this very clear.
It's funny because it's true. All right. So, and before we jump into tonight's topic, we got to give some major shout outs tonight. And that is we've got, ladies and gentlemen, not one, not two, not three. We got 4 new Pipe Club members.
It's so great, man.
At the Squire level, big shout out to Mike Armstrong.
Man, our dear friend Mike. Mike, of course, local guy. Mike is a local friend. Has been a pipe smoker since the late 70s, and has started coming to the Country Squire at a very young age. We think a legal young age. We're not positive, but anyway, Mike has been a dear friend of our shop for a long time, and a dedicated listener to Country Squire Radio, and a great friend. So, man, Mike, thanks for joining the club at the Squire level.
Absolutely. We've also got 3 new pilgrims: Adrian Harper, Cameron Reel, and Stephen Baker.
Woo!
So thank y'all so much. Welcome to the club. Your digital club cards and avatars and all that good stuff will be in the mail shortly. The digital mail, that is.
That's right.
In all capacity. But we want to welcome y'all to the club. Thank y'all so much for supporting the show. And hey, also shout out, we got 2 new patrons who are helping support the show at $1 per episode.
Yeah.
Jordan Crowder, as well as Kevin Bayhanger.
That's right.
Bayhanger? Behanger.
Bayhanger.
Hey,
welcome to the routine.
I know, right? big thanks to you guys as well. And
we need to start a Facebook group for people we've butchered their name for, like a support
There's
group.
a support group already.
Yeah, a community of support, people we can kind of point them to resources.
Country Squire Radio, mispronounced my name's anonymous.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is, and then they say their name.
Maybe we could sell effigies of ourselves that they could burn.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm sure there's pretty much a black market for that already. It's going down, man.
We'll work on that.
They put the tobacco in it too, so it smells delicious.
No, that's right. That's right. It's full of tobacco. That's funny.
Man. Well, speaking of tobacco, we have got a great show planned for you guys tonight. We are addressing kind of it's in very much kind of a Pipes 101 styled episode. An interesting question that newbies may have. Now, longtime pipe smokers may think this sounds weird, but remember, think back to the first time that you got tobacco that was not just kind of loose leaf, say like cake tobacco or twist tobacco.
That's right.
A question probably came to your mind, which is it supposed to look like that?
That's exactly right.
John David, is it?
Well, sometimes it is. Yeah. We thought we'd kind of pull the curtain back on tobacco that isn't loose leaf. We think of traditionally like a chopped cut or a ribbon cut tobacco as being kind of the traditional way to purchase and consume pipe tobacco. But, once you get kind of your feet wet in the tobacco world and you're starting to dig around a little bit, or, maybe you pick up one of your first tins of tobacco and you shake it before you open it, and it doesn't sound, it sounds kind of clunky. There's something kind of rattling in there rather than just kind of sliding around. You're like, man, what is going on here? And so we thought we'd kind of take a look under the hood of these tobacco cuts that are not just loose leaf. So this is going to be kind of a broad overview of those tobaccos, just a 101 episode. And we'd love, for those of our listeners and friends that are, more maybe more advanced or more well versed in the worlds of tobacco, as we kind of talk about different forms of tobacco and how you consume them and the purpose of them and that kind of thing. Let us know maybe what some of your favorites are in that kind of genre or that that area of tobacco, and you might even have some other ones that we've missed as well, so that you'd want to talk of as well. So
I'm excited, man. I see you've got almost kind of like a little Easter basket full of goodies right now. I kind of
feel like this is my little cornucopia of deliciousness.
And by the way, it's
like a nicotine cornucopia.
For the listeners, of course, just to kind of give a little bit of context here. So at the moment, to store the demos that you'll be kind of talking through tonight.
That's right.
You've got them actually in the scale.
Yeah, and, of course, our ancient scale balance that we've got here at the shop that we weigh all our pipe tobacco on. I think this thing was made in the mid 60s, maybe early 60s.
Yeah, the 60s, as in like the original
like
60s,
the 1860s. Yeah. But yeah, we've got just kind of sitting here in the pan of the scale, a few different types of tobacco. Ooh. So let's go ahead and talk about a few different ones. And I kind of debated on the best way to walk through this, because you've got tobaccos that are more popular than others as far as cuts go and the way they're produced, but then also some forms of tobacco kind of derive from other forms. So I think I'm going to take that kind of track as far as we go. This will make sense as I talk. But,
sure.
So first, I want to talk about plug tobacco. Okay, so you open your tin of tobacco, and you've got this thing in there that looks kind of like a brownie. Okay. And you kind of want to eat it, but if you do, you'll probably wind up at your local Catholic hospital, like at St. Dominic's here in Jackson.
Why got to be Catholic hospital?
I'm just saying. I'm just so glad.
First Baptists and Methodists are all upset with you right
now. No, I know. I just don't know if they treat someone with a tobacco leaf in their stomach. But it's funny. I always joke with people. It's like, I'm so glad we're 3 blocks from St. Dominic's, our sweet little Catholic hospital here that the nuns run, because they would take good care of you if you smoked the little crumbs of tobacco on the bottom of the floor here at the shop. So anyway, so plug tobacco, it's kind of interesting. I love this. And if you're watching live, I've actually got a brick of plug tobacco, a really big brick of plug tobacco here. This is great. Plug tobacco is actually whole leaf tobacco. Okay, so when you're thinking of when you're thinking of tobacco that's been traditionally prepared, you've got leaves that are kind of chopped up, or the most common is probably a ribbon cut, some type of shredded leaf. And in a plug environment, and in all flakes, really the genesis of it is going to be something like this. It's going to be a brick of tobacco where whole, entire leaves of tobacco have been placed one on top of the other,
Yeah.
and then put under just a tremendous amount of pressure, and typically some heat too, depending on the leaf. But you want to take a look at
Yeah,
that?
so just kind of from a visual standpoint, if you're looking like straight on top of it, I mean,
Yeah.
overall, like you said, brownie is probably like the best way to describe it. But if
Yeah.
you're looking at the very top, if you can imagine when you're raking your yard, and you just kind of stomped on some leaves, like
Yeah.
what that
Yeah.
flattened leaf looks like, that's what it looks like on top.
It's just whole leaf. That's
And
what
for
it is.
this particular plug tobacco, it's got kind of a dark, light, dark kind of thing going on right now. So if
That's
you can
right.
imagine two dark brownies sandwiched over what would be kind of a lighter brownie, or maybe some sort of delicious.
Yeah, it's almost like
caramel.
basically the darker leaves kind of flank the outsides of this brownie, and then you've got the middle filling center that's a lighter leaf. On this one, it's just a nice soft Virginia. I'm not going to tell you what tobacco this is. Actually,
okay.
I would like maybe our live listeners to maybe guess.
Y'all
what
wanna
that
guess
is. I
it?
don't know. Can they see that, Beau,
Yeah,
on
you
our
can kind of see it.
screen? Anyway, yeah, I'd be real interested to see if anyone could guess what that is.
Y'all put
But
your guesses in. We'll see if we can pull them up later on the show.
so plug tobacco is you open your tin of tobacco. Is my tobacco supposed to look like this? Well, it is if it's plug tobacco. But plug tobacco, again, you're looking at a brick, and you've got this brick of leaves, and it's whole leaves. You can actually see the leaves that are in there, in their entire form. The veins running through the leaves, and maybe different little shoots coming off the sides of the leaf, and that type of thing. And so plug tobacco, they press it like this. It's so incredibly easy to tote with you. Matter of fact, it's really popular for folks that do a lot of work for a living. Hard, manual labor type work. We've got
I'm sorry, folks who do a lot of work for a living.
That real work, not like how you and I work, but like real work. Like I'm actually going to sweat when I work.
Right. Like coal mining, manly man.
No, that's right. Actually, it's funny. Some of our most loyal plug tobacco consumers here at the Squire are folks in the military, folks either in the Guard or full-time military. They like to be able to throw their little brick of plug tobacco in their backpack or bag or whatever, and that way, or knapsack, as it were.
Yeah, because if they ever run out of ammo, they just chop a little bit off and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean,
put that in the pistol and you're fine.
That would hurt. That would hurt if you got hit with that. Yeah. So you can do it, and then just cut it up with a pocket knife. It's really easy to do. But so anyway, you've got this big chunk of plug tobacco, and that's kind of what that looks like. Now, so we think of, okay, is my tobacco supposed to look like that? Imagine if plug tobacco were sliced in little, almost like you took a loaf of bread and then sliced it.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be the most common form of tobacco that is not actually not loose leaf tobacco, and that is what we call flake tobacco,
also known as the stuff that looks like bacon.
That's right. And so, most people, when they think of, some type of tobacco that isn't loose leaf, they think of a flake tobacco. Flake tobacco starts out as a plug like this. So it starts out as something that is really, pressed into these bricks. And then typically by these giant machines that, have incredible precision. This is a flake, luxury Navy flake, actually, from our friends at Peter Stokeby. Scandinavian Tobacco Group, good friends of the show. And so luxury Navy flake, they actually take the plug like this, and they will slice it into little slivers. And so if you open your tin of tobacco and look at it, you've got little slivers of leaf that are cut against the grain like that. And so it's just kind of against the leaf. It's cool if you ever have the opportunity, and I wish I had one with us today, because occasionally, I do just at the store. But if you ever have the opportunity to open a full box of luxury Navy flake from Peter Stokeby, you can open the full box unopened, and when you look at it, you can see where it's a giant, plug that has been cut into these slices, and all the slices are in order of, I mean, it looks just like this plug bow, but you can see the slices there on top of it. So it's like if you slice this and left it in the same exact order that it's in.
Like a bloomin' onion, except I guess it's sliced all the way through.
Yeah, and you don't dip it in that nasty sauce. Yeah. So we'll talk about it later.
Oh,
so the flake tobacco starts out as this plug, and then of course you've got different different cuts of flake, and so the Stokeby Luxury Navy Flake. This is kind of just a regular thin cut flake. I think that's probably the most popular. If you're a McClellan fan, you'll notice that McClellan tobaccos always come in a broken flake that typically is a little more thick cut, or it's kind of a chunkier cut. The Esoterica tobaccos as well. You'll think of the Penzance in particular, kind of a thick, moist, chunky cut in that tobacco, and you've got different ones that kind of go from there. So there's variations of this, of course. You might open a tin, and the tobacco is kind of you could tell it was a flake form at one point, but it's kind of torn apart, and we typically call that ready rubbed tobacco,
right.
Or a broken flake. So that's
the
kind
way the Faulkner flake is, right?
That's right. That's right. We actually don't sell Faulkner flake anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't. But yes,
tobacco
if we
lost
did,
the time, right?
If we did, that's right. Then it would be a broken flake. So anyway, you've kind of got these two kissing cousins here. the plug
We're
tobacco.
From Mississippi, we can't use that.
No, we can. We do all the time. So you've got the plug tobacco, and of course the flake tobacco. That's kind of the derivative of the plug tobacco. So
I feel like we just saw an evolution.
We did.
Right before our eyes.
We did. Snap. We need someone to do that. And then
it's evolving.
Right.
It's super effective.
And then so kind of on another side of the spectrum, a lot of times folks will open a tin of tobacco, and there's all these little coins or medallions in there.
Pepperonis.
And the little pepperoni tobaccos. Yeah. And so all those tobaccos and tobaccos like it generally start as a twist or a rope
sausage.
And so think of if you're listening to the podcast right now and not watching, think of like basically a huge chunk of sausage.
It looks. I feel like I should eat that with like some eggs
and a biscuit.
Oh
yeah!
You kidding me?
But it's like a big chunk of sausage, like kielbasa sausage or something. It's just really nice. Typically, what's done here are the whole leaves of tobacco are rolled up around each other and then twisted into giant ropes. Okay, so you can find this in a few forms. This is actually. A twist tobacco that's that I won't identify as of now, but the whole leaves are put in kind of a bundle, rolled up, and then twisted into giant kind of a giant lace, just a giant rope, and this one is really big. This is kind of what would look like if you slice that, and then it wound up being that size of a pepperoni or something.
The one that you've got right here is it's larger than most of the twist tobaccos that I've seen.
That's right. That's right.
But it is a beauty. And one of the things I love about the twist tobacco is when you first kind of educated me about it, you talked about how back in the day, sailors would get paid in twist tobacco, and the idea is that you had a length of it they would slice off.
No, that's right.
And it would be essentially their payment at the end of the day.
That's right.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, twist tobacco is one of the oldest forms of tobacco, particularly amongst a lot of the old Navy tradition, because it was just such an easy way to ration out tobacco. You give away a lot of tobacco. Well, you just slice it up by the inch and get it out there. And, folks could put it in little containers and flavor it with their favorite rum or, whatever they had on hand. But this actually, is a tobacco that is going to be, because it's so big, this is over an inch in diameter. Typically tobaccos like this, for you and I to consume it, are going to be cut into medallions like this. And so when you open the tin and you see your twist tobacco, like this, it's going to be cut A lot of folks call this a coin cut, medallions, a curly cut, spun cut.
I
There's
mean,
all
it's a
kinds of.
pepperoni.
It's a little pepperoni. That's all it is. And so it starts out as this beautiful kind of log of tobacco, and then it winds up in this little thing, and you prepare it the exact same way you would a twist tobacco.
Just kind of rub it out.
Just kind of tear it apart. A lot of folks with the coin style like this, the medallion, they'll actually fold it into what they call a little cannonball, which is kind of nice. And so you can just kind of fold it until it turns into a little ball, and then once it's in the little ball form, just kind of poke it down in your pipe.
Interesting.
It's kind of nice too. You can even put a couple in there on top of each other, and it tends to be a nice way to keep the pipe lit.
Really?
Yeah.
If it's wow, I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
I've got to try that next time, because I'm somebody who really likes, I guess, the ribbon cut. And so it's like it must look exactly like the ribbon cut.
It has to look like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it is hard. You've got a lot of folks that we've talked about before with the flake tobaccos. They'll take a flake and then just fold it and shove it in their pipe. I've always had trouble keeping a pipe like that lit. I've always had to kind of tear it apart and put it in there. But with the medallions, it seems to work pretty good if you just kind of take it in your hand and keep folding that little coin until it looks kind of like a ball, and you can kind of just mash it into a ball and just gently poke it in your pipe.
I would have been all right. So maybe this is kind of a a newbie type of question, but it's a pipe smoking 101. If you were to take the medallion style, roll it into a bowl, put it in your pipe.
That's right.
Would you want to give it like a minute or two to
Right.
expand first before actually lighting it? Because as you twist it,
Yeah,
I mean, like
sure.
even the ball you just made, I noticed on the table, you put it down.
Yeah, it's already kind of blooming.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if I lit it,
Another thing too is once you apply fire to it,
Mhm.
it's going to do that even more.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that about flake tobacco. It's one of the most magical things of smoking flake tobacco is you apply that flame to it, and those pressed up leaves, all of a sudden they kind of expand, and they'll start to bubble over the top of the rim of the pipe. It's one of my gosh, I'm geeking out. I'm geeking out about it right now. Even
it's an art.
it really is a beautiful process. But but anyway, I like this visual because you can kind of see, you've got the plug that turns into the flake, and then the giant, twist roll that kind of, turns into the coin. And I think that's just a nice way to visualize it. Of course, then you've got the rope tobacco, the twist tobacco like this that tends to be much smaller, more moist, and dense. And of course, we sell that as twist tobacco. So you can buy tobacco like this log here, but typically when you buy it by the inch or by the length, it tends to be a little smaller in diameter. Of course, at the Squire, we sell that as the Gayworth and Hogarth, like this black cherry twist here. It comes in just kind of a giant roll like this, but this is the same principle. It's just tobacco that's been, rolled up into, just a giant coil.
That one looks like a snake.
Yeah, it looks like a nasty, dirty snake.
Well, plus you got a lot of a lot of times I'll come in and you're kind of down to the end. And, you just got a little bit on there. It's kind of like hanging on, kind of like a worm.
No, that's it.
But now you got like a full snake.
This is like the full python.
Yeah.
This is Gayworth and Hogarth black cherry twist. We've also got a sweet maple and a sweet whiskey, and then the brown number 4 Kindle twist that we sell here. And typically the traditional way for these to be sold is by the inch. Although nowadays, and we sell them by the inch, although nowadays a lot of folks sell these by weight. But it's the same kind of process here. You've got the larger twist tobacco that's been spun real tightly and then turned into the coin. And then you've got these rope tobaccos that, basically are just kind of on their own. And then you cut them up and smoke them. Our friend, actually, Mark VV, we mentioned Mark earlier in the show, but Mark actually put out a great video not too long ago. I don't know if it's on for general use.
I'm sure Mark VV
YouTube,
is
whatever. I'm sure
he's very good on the YouTube pipe community.
But Mark was great. He actually ordered some of this and experimented with it for quite a while, and has some really good tips for if you are smoking twist tobacco in its form, not in a medallion style form, but in this kind of rope form. Typically, you'll see it in these smaller, kind of more moist harder twists. But Mark had some great tips on kind of how to prepare that, best to keep it lit for your pipe and all that. So I'd recommend kind of checking out resources like that.
Let me ask you, if I was to purchase some of the twist tobacco, I'm looking at that maple in particular. If I was to purchase
Stuff
some,
could choke a goat. It's so strong.
would you or would the local tobacconist actually cut it into medallions for me? Like I don't know that I have the tools to do that.
Yeah, honestly, what you really need is just a really sharp knife.
What about cigar cutter?
A cigar cutter can work. It can work, but
but I guess it kind of like pushes it out.
well, it does. I think what some folks find with the cigar cutter is that it doesn't get it quite as fine as you might want it. And so, you cut it with the cigar cutter, but then you might want to, tear it more into some shreds in order to get it just in a real fine cut. And so, what Mark did, he actually took a very sharp knife and kind of sliced it almost like you'd slice a carrot or an onion or something, but just at the finest little thickness that he could get it. And then once he got it there, he kind of even started to pull it apart and kind of separate some of the inner leaves and the inner portion of the twist from the outer leaves that were kind of drier on the outside. And a lot of the outer leaves he actually discarded because they just weren't as easy to chop up. They weren't as fresh. And didn't kind of ribbon out the way he wanted to. So really interesting. You just kind of have to experiment with those twists. That's the beauty of buying something like, this is a luxury bullseye flake. There's also stuff like a Scudo that's out there. But you've got these medallions that where they kind of have done the work for you in that. It's a big
and they look beautiful
medallion. It's always a real satisfying thing to open a can of tobacco and just find those little coins in there. So really, really pretty cool. One other form of tobacco that I'll talk about that we, if you open your tin of tobacco, and is it supposed to look like that?
Right.
And it is, if it is called a crumble cake.
Okay, this is good. Yeah.
Now, a crumble cake, a lot of folks are like, well, isn't that the same thing as a plug?
Right.
Okay, so I've got here a tin of Cajun cake. Now this, you talk about something that could choke a billy goat. Cajun cake. It's made by Cornell and Deal. Really good stuff, but again, just super super strong. It's the description on it is, and I think we've actually done
I feel like we have
maybe a tobacco talk on this
Yeah.
before, but it says naturally sweet red Virginias, a touch of everyone's favorite Cajun spice, Louisiana Perique, pressed into a crumble cake. Crumble cakes are where they've taken tobacco that has already been ribbon cut. Okay, it's already been ribbon cut or chopped or cube cut or something like that, and then once they make the blend that they're after, then they press that blend into a cake. Okay, so it looks, when you open the tin, it looks very similar to a plug. But the difference is the plug is a whole leaf. Okay, so these are whole leaves that have been pressed together, and typically in layers, and so they can kind of achieve this dramatic effect of doing maybe a Burley and then a Cavendish and then a Virginia or a Latakia or whatever.
The Neapolitan.
Yeah, it's the Neapolitan tobacco form. That's right. But with a crumble cake, you've actually got, the idea is it's being pressed. It's going to look like that little brownie, but it's actually all a bunch of little chopped, leaves that are in there.
The moose tracks.
And the yeah. The rocky road, as it were.
That's
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So, and so that's kind of the difference there. Typically, crumble cakes are real easy to tear apart. They're just not held together with as much, firmness because it's just already chopped up leaves that are there. But they undergo a similar amount of pressure, and again sometimes heat or flavoring. As well as that. And so, anyway, just kind of interesting, different ways. There's all kinds of methods out there, like, to prepare these different tobaccos. Typically, with a crumble cake, the pressure that it's gone under is going to, help the flavors mature, marry together, and just become more consistent, maybe sweeter over time. But you are going to have to, there is no folding and stuffing this or anything like that. You are going to have to tear this apart and kind of get it into its constituent, form before you put it in your pipe. And so that's kind of how that works. So,
I'm curious about the packaging for a crumble cake versus a plug.
Yeah.
Would it be expected that like plug tobacco would need to be in a square type casing versus crumble cake, which can go either way?
You would think maybe so, but I've seen it happen all kinds of different ways.
Okay.
I've seen plugs like this packaged in the Cornell and Deal style, McClellan style tin that kind of looks like a little can. I've seen plugs, come just shrink wrapped with almost like a little cellophane wrap around it,
Right.
like something you really would get at a bakery, perhaps. And then crumble cakes, that's a plug. Crumble cakes, typically are going to come in these kind of can styles, at least in the modern American market. Because they do, as their name would imply, they do crumble up pretty easily. They tear apart real easily. So, even when you open your first can of crumble cake tobacco, you'll see this little brownie in there, but it's pretty common to find a few, shards of the tobacco kind of laying off to the side here or there. Because it is going to, it's a loose tobacco that's just been pressed into a lot of pressure, but through shipping and other things that you'll see little flakes of it come off.
Man, so that Cornell Deal crumble cake right there.
Cajun cake.
Cajun
Yes.
cake?
Yes, which is a crumble cake.
So it's tearing up my cake when I'm with you.
And
when we are apart, I feel sorry. Oh, I couldn't even do it. Couldn't even hold it together.
It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible.
Well, I'll tell you what's not terrible, and that is all of this, man. I mean,
it's a lot of great stuff to take a look at.
One of the things that we try to do with these pipe smoking one-on-one episodes is kind of, answer some of those basic questions and walk through some of the things that, like I said, most of you guys, as y'all been listening, some of the old timers, some of the long-time pipe enthusiasts, this is all, this left and right. But the great thing is that you've got great suggestions that we've been seeing coming through on the Twitter and likewise. And so we want to encourage you this week, head over to Facebook, head over to Twitter. Let us know, what is your favorite cut? What is your favorite style of tobacco? And why? Why do you prefer the twist versus the crumble cake? Let us know what your thoughts are. We'd love to share that out.
I like that. Yeah.
And the great thing is while you are like, let's say you pick up some some ribbon, but you also pick up a crumble cake, maybe a plug, perhaps some twist tobacco. You're going to be trying a lot of different tobaccos while you're trying all of these different cuts. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you're trying them not in the same like briar pipe that's going to mess with all the flavors.
It's going to ghost, right? It's going to like that cast iron skillet. It's going to season over time.
Exactly.
You want a pure taste when you're trying new tobacco.
That's right. And you don't get a purer taste than you do when you are smoking tobacco with an excellent, exquisite corncob pipe from Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right. Missouri Meerschaum, of course, good friends at Country Squire Radio. They make just dozens of different types of pipes, shapes and styles, finishes, from the traditional all the way to the pushing the envelope of pipe style all the way to the goofy and exotic. So tonight we're talking about the Missouri Pride. Missouri Beautiful. Pride tobacco, just a real elegant corncob pipe tobacco, or corncob pipe. It's what you think of when you think of that Frosty the Snowman pipe. It's just got a nice,
really is,
real nice billiard style bowl. With the where you can kind of see where the kernels have been removed from the cob there. Generally, they're pretty generous portion bowls, medium to large size, with that nice wooden shank and then the black stem on there as well. So the great thing about a lot of Missouri Meerschaum pipes is that they have the option of using a filter if you like. The great thing is you don't have to use a filter, and so you can take that out if you prefer. But anyway, just well constructed pipe, Missouri Pride pipe. It comes in a bent and a straight variety, and we highly recommend it, particularly if you want a chamber of your pipe that's going to hold enough tobacco to give you a really good first impression of what that tobacco tastes like.
I tell you what, I know it's nowhere near Christmas, but hey, let's do this. If you've got a Missouri Pride pipe and you're smoking it this week, find a top hat, put that on. Or was it a straw hat? It was an old top hat. It was a top hat. Find a top hat, put it on, enjoy that while you're smoking your Missouri Pride. Take a picture of it, tweet us. We'll retweet that out. It's a great way to show some love for the good folks at Missouri Meerschaum who have been so wonderful by showing their love to helping make this show happen. So again, check them out, Missouri Meerschaum. Pipe question of the week. Ow?
No, that's for the next.
Oh, right. I thought
I didn't forget.
You
just got it wrong.
You're right. That's on me. From the top, from the top. Pipe question of the week this week comes in from Shane Folden, who writes in saying, "Hey guys, I have been smoking a pipe for about a year and have always wondered, is it bad to smoke half bowls rather than load up full bowls? Time constraints, nagging responsibilities. Not sure if it messes up the cake buildup or causes uneven wear. Also, I feel that when I pack my bowls tightly, the tobacco tastes better. It does, however, go out due to being overpacked. What am I missing? Love the show and can't wait to hear your answers. Also, can't wait for some county seat and second breakfast. Be well, Shane Folden."
Man, Shane, thanks very much for hollering, man. Well, we'd love to get you some county seat and second breakfast tobacco. Yeah, so a lot of folks, have this idea. Okay, I load my pipe up. Do I have to smoke it all the way down to the bottom, right? And so, of course, a purist, and what a lot of folks are going to say is, well, you really need to, have an even cake on your pipe, and so you need to smoke it all the way to the bottom. What a lot of folks have realized though over time is that with a really big pipe bowl, you might find a really nice pipe that you enjoy, a big bowl, but you don't always want to smoke it completely full. And so you can do this a couple ways. You can either just fill it halfway and smoke it to the bottom and build a nice even layer of cake on the bottom portion of the pipe. Or if you do happen to fill the pipe all the way to the top and smoke the first half of it, honestly, that can be okay. That can be okay. What a lot of folks I've noticed have started doing over the years is they will pack their pipe completely to the top with no intent of smoking the bottom half. Okay, and the theory, from what I understand, and just from listening at the water cooler, I guess, is the bottom half of that tobacco almost acts as like a trap to catch all the moisture, almost like a filter. It kind of it's kind of collecting all the moisture and just gunk that doesn't taste very good. And so you fill it up, and then you just kind of assume that once you get halfway through, you'll throw the rest out. And pipe tobacco is not very expensive, and so you can do that kind of thing regularly if you want to. Are you going to build an uneven layer of cake if you do that? Well, yeah, you are. The top portion of your pipe is going to build more cake than the bottom portion. Is that a complete disaster? No, not really. If you're someone like me that tends to be real, OCD about things, you might be concerned about building more of an even layer of cake in your pipe. But overall, I think a lot of folks really do enjoy just kind of not having to worry about that. And as long as you do clean, as long as the cake is even, so as far as the diameter goes. And so let's say on the bottom of your bowl, there's hardly any cake at all, but the top portion of the bowl, there's a good bit of cake. Just make sure that over time you're kind of carving that cake to where it's very even. And you should be just fine. So half bowls are underrated, man. They really are. Like, a lot of folks, they're like, oh, I'm not going to smoke my pipe right now because I don't have time. Well, no, smoke your pipe. Just smoke a half bowl. Smoke a quarter bowl. Even smoke your favorite pipe. Even if your favorite pipe is one of these, Daverns that we sell that are as big as a golf club. Like, man, pull out your favorite pipe and put some tobacco in it and smoke it.
All right, fair enough. I was gonna say, and this is just the way I do it, but I mean, I've got a lot of different pipes with a lot of different size bowls, and so that's always like in my consideration if I'm about to smoke. If I don't have a whole lot of time, I've got kind of smaller bowl pipes for that exact reason. Like, there's one pipe in particular that is a massive bowl that I have not had the time to sit down and just like enjoy.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it probably hasn't been smoked in over 2 years.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of one of those
And
things.
I get that. And some larger bowl pipes are easier to enjoy a little tobacco out of than others. You've got the memes are fantastic. You've got some large bowl pipes. You almost have to put a ton of tobacco in them to enjoy them properly because they're so wide. Some large bowl pipes are really just large because they're so deep. And with bowls like that, you can really pack the bowl just full of however much you want and go on with it like that. So, but anyway, half bowls are fine. I kind of know my limits on that pretty well, and so a lot of times, and I'm real bad about this, or just regularly do this. I'll just pack my pipe half full, and then smoke it all the way to the bottom, and that's something that I do pretty regularly. And building that little bit of uneven cake, it's fine as long as you maintain it.
Plus, you always want to pack them half full, never half empty.
That's right.
That's right.
Man, he did have another portion of the question here, talking about the
tight tastes
Shane,
better.
yeah,
but
he thought if he packs it tightly, it kind of tastes better, but maybe he's having a little trouble keeping it lit because it's overpacked.
Sure.
I think honestly with that, you're kind of just getting into a rhythm thing. I've always found that my pipe actually stays lit easier if it's tightly packed, and so now maybe you're going a lot tighter than that. I don't know, but the I think it's going to depend on the tobacco. You've got some leaves that are moist, some that are really dry, and just kind of the dance that's going on inside of that bowl while you're smoking it is going to dictate how it tastes. So I think with that, you're just going to have to experiment and kind of find what works for you.
Excellent question, Shane. That's so good. Thank you so much for sending that in. And hey, if you've got a pipe question of the week, be sure to send it in. CSR is not actually the email. That was the old email. It's
That's right. That's right.
Show at countrysquireradio.com. Man, my voice has been struggling tonight. You haven't gotten to it yet. No, you did. We'll get there and listen to feedback.
Oh, I'm so horrified.
Oh, man.
My kids are going to see this one day. Really terrible.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Back to it. Quickfire questions.
Ow!
All right, quickfire question. We actually got two folks sending in quickfire questions.
Oh, great.
From the forums over at thispipelife.com. Thispipelife.com. Great online community we'll be telling you about here in a minute. But first, quickfire questions. All right, the first one is from Mafrisa. Mafrisa.
Okay.
And
this is great. I'm just Twitter gold tonight. I can't wait to talk about this.
I'm so sorry, Mike.
Shortly. Yeah.
You have to cut this up a little bit.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Yep.
All right, first one comes in from Mafrisa. Mafresa? M-F-R-E-S-A.
Mafresa.
Who says cheese sauce or tomato sauce, specifically talking pasta?
Tomato sauce.
Yeah, definitely tomato sauce.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cheese sauce has its place, or maybe he
like
might be talking about like an Alfredo kind of sauce.
Yeah.
I like those sauces, but I don't know, the traditionalist in me, and someone that likes more heavy flavors, maybe in the food. The tomato sauce.
Like I feel like I need to know what that third component is. You know what I mean? Because like if it's like beef or sausage or something like that, you want the tomato
base. Yeah.
But if you're talking like shrimp or seafood, I'm really into that kind of creamier, maybe
that makes sense.
Sauce as well. So, but I'll go tomato sauce with you. These last couple come from the Pipe Dean, who says, "All right, when you write, do you prefer a pen or pencil?"
Pen. Fountain pen.
I like pencil so I can erase. I don't.
You don't just squiggle it out? That's all I ever do.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything important to write anyway.
The funny thing is I've switched up. Now I go pen and specifically Post-it notes. Because the great thing about Post-it notes is you can always like replace the different words and everything.
Right.
But I'm a little bit overly.
Go into Beau's office down at Potastery Studios. It's a lot of fun because he's literally written on everything that can be written on and erased. It's kind of neat. Like if there's a window in the office, it has some form of writing on it, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, all my plans for world domination are all over. All right, so short driving, interstate or back roads?
Interstate. Typically, I'm in a hurry wherever I go, and typically the interstate's the quickest way to get there.
Yeah. Back roads. I've had way too many bad experiences on back roads.
Yeah.
You end up in a place you don't know where it is. It's late at night. You get your car stuck in the ground. You have to hitchhike.
Yep.
You get chased by dogs. It's 3 a.m. in Tennessee somewhere.
So is this a song?
No, it should be.
I was like, are you quoting a song that I should know about?
The same summer,
Some lame country song?
I got stuck out in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee twice. And this is like long before the days of like smartphones and like easy GPS and everything. And both times they were like 3 a.m. and I had no gas.
Yeah.
But I'm here now. Thank God.
Somehow you made it. Yeah.
Thank God.
No, that's good.
Okay. And then finally, Italian dinner. cheesy breadsticks or garlic bread?
Garlic bread.
If you're talking Italian dinner,
Yeah, no, legit Italian dinner, garlic bread.
Yeah,
If you're talking about like a side to go with, pizza because you've had a 6-pack of beer, then cheesy bread.
that's technically Italian.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Okay, that's fair.
It is.
Whatever.
Yeah, garlic bread. I'm with you. Cheesy breadstick. I kind of feel like cheesy breadsticks is kind of a Midwestern thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they throw cheese on everything. Much love to our Midwestern listeners, but y'all throw cheese on everything.
Is that kind of like we deep fry everything?
Yeah, but
down in
see,
the South?
the difference is
down the dirty South.
When
the
we
deep fried South.
deep fry everything, we include something called spice. Now that's something that Midwesterners don't know about.
Ooh,
now
man,
look,
I think there might be so many people bristling at this.
No,
right
I know. Look, our first audience came from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I know who I'm talking to, and look, I'm telling you, I'm married into the Midwest, so I know how y'all do food.
Cheese, carbs, but maybe not quite as much spice as you would prefer.
I'm telling you, salt, pepper, great. Tony's better. Just
okay.
Consider it. Okay, consider it.
That's great.
All right, so that's quick fire questions for this week. Again, big ups to Imfresa, and the Pipe Dean over at thispipelife.com. By the way, guys, if you're not on thispipelife.com, you absolutely should be. It's an amazing online community built and set up just for you. Yes, you, pipe enthusiast out there. Check it out. In fact, when you log into thispipelife.com, be sure to use the code CSR. When you register, it lets the folks over there know that you heard about it here. And not only, by the way, can you engage with them on their website, but they got social channels on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are. This Pipe Life is here to help connect you with other folks just like you. So check it out, thispipelife.com. Again, use the code CSR when you register. And I'll also mention this too. We'll be sure to post it out on Facebook and Twitter this week because if you're looking for where the Quickfire question forum is, where that link, where that chain is, I'll be sure to send that out and just kind of that way you have a direct link. And for those of you, by the way, who are sending in new questions, I know Pappy Joe, you messaged me saying, hey, I put some new ones in there. We're getting to them, but we always try to go in the order that they come in so we don't miss anybody.
That's right.
So y'all check them out. Again, thispipelife.com. Use the code CSR when you register.
Man, so much listener feedback gold tonight.
Yeah. So we got some great listener feedback. The Twitterverse is going crazy right now. Absolutely crazy. I'm so proud of you, Twitter.
Let's start with the tame stuff. We've got several people enjoying and talking about some of their favorite tobaccos that aren't general, ribbon cut tobaccos. Our friend Brad Hocker, the Love Doctor, good friend of the show, he's enjoying right now some Stokeby Luxury Twist Flake. And Brad, that's actually what I'm smoking right now too. A little secret I'll let you in on. I hate the stuff, and I tried it again tonight, just kind of giving myself an opportunity to reacquaint myself with it. For some reason, every time I smell a luxury twist flake, it just smells like a barn. I can't wait to get to more of our listener feedback because Beau is having trouble containing himself here. We've got several folks they talking about the old dark fired flake. You've got dark fired Kentucky. Wessex brick is really good. I like the Wessex brick because it actually is a little perfect cube of tobacco that you can cut into flakes yourself, which is really great. It's kind of on the pricey side, but got some folks smoking Dunhill Navy rolls and also a pound of Mac Baren vanilla cream flake, which Hocker the Love Doctor also tweets out. It's really nice because the way we were talking about with the plug earlier, you can kind of see the full leaves that are in there, and so what the plug would have looked like if it weren't cut or sliced up. So really nice.
People have been trying to tweet in all night guessing what the specifically the plug tobacco was.
Yeah, this is Orlick Dark Strong Kentucky.
Oh, I think we did have one or two people that guessed that correctly.
Yeah. This is Dark Strong Kentucky from Orlick. It's just a real nice kind of even layer. I love how they've layered the tobacco, the Kentucky dark fired burley with Virginia leaf in there. Just real clean looking. And then this one, which I can't remember if we challenged folks to see or not, but this is actually Escudo. this is what a scudo looks like before it gets sliced into coins. And so a scudo, just really great. One of my probably, it's just certainly top 10 tobacco for me. Probably close to top 5, if not certainly top 5.
How did you get your hands on that?
I just have my ways,
dude.
Just have my ways.
Okay.
But yeah,
all right.
I have so often wanted to slice a piece off of this escudo and smoke it, but it's just so perfect, and I don't, I'd just rather buy another 10 of it and smoke that.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's
Isn't that
so
cool?
freaking
Yeah,
cool.
pretty neat though. These are kind of on display at the Squire, so we leave these here so people can enjoy them. Yeah.
I'm imagining, like, if you go to Italy, they've got you go to like a diner or whatever, they have their glass display case of all of their different pastries and everything.
That's right.
Order off of.
That's right.
Yeah, this is the Squire equivalent right here.
That's right.
That's so cool. All right, so I think we have to mention it because at the beginning of the show, we talked about how the internet was broken.
That's right.
Because of
the esoterica.
Tobacco.
Right.
And so I put the call
because we broke the internet, and I think my heart is broken now as well.
All right, big shout out to Kurt at Undertaker Piper on Twitter, who answered the call, and yes, in fact, photoshopped your face over Kim Kardashian. Not only that, but replaced the champagne with tobacco leaves, landing specifically on her derriere with
it's funny because I'm drinking champagne tonight. I'm drinking the champagne of beers, and we talk about me breaking the internet, and frankly, are you sure that's Kim Kardashian's body? Because I think I could pull it off pretty good.
You think you can pull that off?
Yeah.
You think you pull that dress off?
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that's
I want the poster.
That's really, really something.
No, the t-shirt. Oh, wait, can we? I bet Kanye would.
This is just terrifying. Yeah, I think probably so. But this is you see the tobacco leaves that are curling way over my beautiful head there. I've got pearls around my neck, which is kind of nice, and this leather disgusting dress.
The reaction, y'all's reaction on Twitter.
Yeah, it's I think that's probably my favorite part of this is that people are going into all kinds of vomiting. In with Baucus, your response there, the GIF was very appropriate, I thought. People talking about at Subtilis87. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but I know that I'm terrified.
Well, I tell you what. It's a visual gag, so for the podcast, we'll include a direct link, if not an embedded, specifically in the show notes for this episode.
We've got like Honey Boo Boo gagging. It's great. It's just so fantastic.
If you're listening on Satchel, by the way, it'll just be there. That's the beautiful thing, is you'll be able to see it. That's great. Well, man, that's what an episode tonight.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, Pappy Joe, you can't unsee that. It's that's fair.
That's accurate.
That's fair.
Accurate.
I'm just saying. I think I pulled it off pretty good. I don't know. I mean, if you got the bod, work it. If you got the tobacco, baby, work it.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. And on that, man, what a fun episode of Country Squire Radio, talking about various cuts of tobacco, hopefully educating some new folks into maybe something a little bit outside of what they normally see at their local tobacconist. In fact, I say that, but ask your local tobacconist about some of these cuts if you're interested in kind of learning more. If you want to smoke some, I would imagine most tobacconists worth their salt are going to carry a number of these various styles, even though you may not see them out front all the time. Do a little digging. It's nice to mix things up from time to time.
Yeah. See if you do have a brick and mortar tobacconist close by that has a pipe guy there, man, talk to him about flake tobaccos. Talk to him about these medallions and things of that nature, plugs and crumble cakes. I think you'll find just a wealth of information out there, and they're a lot of fun, that kind of adds to the ritual of preparing your tobacco while you're, getting ready to smoke. So anyway, check it out.
So next week we're back on schedule. We got the show here this week on the normal time. We got next week live show on the normal time as well. After that is when you'll be, that weekend of after next week's show is when you'll actually be in Chicago, right?
I'll be in Chicago, but should be recording normally, I think, the following Monday, which will be good, kind of a wrap up from Chicago episode.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to be living vicariously through you.
Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of good friends up there, and hopefully coming home a lot broker, picking up a lot of loot there, which will be great. So, and looking forward to it.
Sounds good, man. Well, hey, so the people can, of course, keep up with us on Twitter throughout the week. They can follow me. I'm at the Real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And of course, the show's Twitter handle is at Squire Radio, and all that information and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com, where, yes, in fact, you can tune in next Monday night for a live recording of the show at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. We'd love to have you join us. We've been loving the back and forth on Twitter. For those of you who are tuning in live, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we love getting this back and forth on Twitter. If you are someone who watches the YouTube channel directly and you want to kind of engage with us during the show, Twitter's going to be the best way for it. But I do always try to go back, check those YouTube comments after we get done recording.
That's right.
And address them on the following show when we've got the time for it. So
that's right.
But one way or the other, no matter how you're enjoying the show, we encourage you to do it. Be sure, by the way, on iTunes, write us a review if you've not done so already. It's a great way to help out the show. We also encourage you to support the show financially as well. Become a patron by going to patreon.com/Country Squire Radio. If you're listening on Satchel, you got a button right there that says become a patron. Satchel, of course, the method of which we ask that you listen to the show. We hope that you do. But yeah, click become a patron right there. Join the club, $3 an episode, $5 an episode, or just help out the show at $1 an episode. One way or the other, it goes a long way to making sure that this content happens.
It really does. Yeah.
So we really appreciate it. You're over here laughing. I'm kind of curious.
Man, no. I mean, there's so much gold tonight on online. I feel, I don't know. I feel like I need to go take a bath, or maybe call my priest. I don't know. Like, just something's got to give.
I'm putting it out there.
I'm probably gonna have to drink another champagne.
Pylorns. Well, she was. Well, anyway, Pylorns. You now have that image, and we know that you're like the Morpheus, right? You got the back end code here to make the Country Squire internet happen.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Make it so that if everybody like bombs the Country Squire like basically
like an Easter egg or something.
Yeah. And it'll be like, the hashtag break the internet, and it'll be the John David thing. Like, sorry, the website's down.
It's really, really bad.
I feel like we've achieved a new status tonight.
Someday my children are gonna, stumble upon this, and we're gonna have a very shameful conversation that involves an intervention and probably a therapist.
It's all right. Call Kim, have her explain it.
It'll work out.
It'll be all right. All right, man. Well, hey, let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
Thanks so much for tuning into the show, guys. Sorry once again for
great. That was great.
Sorry once again for the mic issue at the beginning of the show. I'm glad we got that fixed up. And by the way, the reason why we got it fixed up as soon as we did, I know it was a little bit longer than I wish that it would have, but one of the reasons, of course, that we were able to catch that is specifically because of you guys on Twitter letting us know. So thank y'all so much for kind of being our tech support.
Yeah, I know. And seriously, I mean, we talk about this, regularly, but our live viewers and listeners and friends, like, y'all are the reason this is so much fun. Like, we get to come here every Monday night, and yeah, it's me and Beau, but like, it's y'all. It's y'all. It's all of us together, and like this is a blast. Like, we have so much fun doing this, and even if I am occasionally disgusted at some people's artwork, but man, it's so great to join y'all each Monday night, and we appreciate you coming by.
And so, like, I'm normally always the one that ends up getting memed. So, like, I got my due tonight. I felt like I was due a bunch of memes over here. You just got the one, but it's just it's so much more.
No, it's
so perfect.
Yeah, it's really something.
You gonna send that to your lady friend?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna send it.
She's
to her.
probably already seen it.
It's like, I just got it emailed to me by someone else. Right? My mom just emailed this to me. What's
exactly.
All right, exactly. Guys. Thank y'all so much.
Good night, y'all.